But a signing that I was not very fond of, a signing that I was said, do not do it, New England. You do not want this guy after his old visit last week, and that is Stefon Diggs. And the Patriots have officially signed Stefon Diggs to a 3-year, $69 million deal. And they do expect him to be ready by week 1. Now, here on this show, guys, what was the last week when Stefon Diggs went to the New England Patriots and visited him, right? Now, he did not walk out with a contract offer after that visit. He went to a physical, and the physical showed him that he's not ready to play right now, but he's trending in the right direction, so the Patriots did offer them that 3-year, $69 million deal. When we first heard about this, Old Man River, Alpha Rob, Jim, hell, I remember even Junis was like saying, hey, Stefon Diggs is a cancer. Stefon Diggs is a cancer. There's a reason why the Minnesota Vikings traded him to the Buffalo Bills. There's a reason why the Buffalo Bills traded him to the Houston Texans. There's a reason why the Houston Texans took his 3-year deal, made it into 1-year deal, and he only played 8 games, and they kicked him to the curb. And there's a reason why no other team was jumping at the offer of Stefon Diggs beside the New England Patriots. It's because he is a cancer. Now, obviously, we are all on the outside looking in. We have no inside people to talk to. We have no inside sources. But the people that I trust in the NFL that talk about the NFL, and my eye test alone tells me that Stefon Diggs is very cancer-esque in the locker room. Now, let's be clear. Winning cures all, right? When you are winning, that cancer, you don't really worry about it. It kind of shuts itself up. There's a little bit of chemo treatment happening there, right? It is not growing, but it's not shrinking either. It's kind of just being stagnant right there. But once you lose in the playoffs, like the Buffalo Bills do, you see him whining, I want out, I want this, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But then the next season, you are winning, you're doing good. Yes, the cancer grew a little bit, but you're in the second round of the treatment. It's not growing, it's not shrinking, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Come playoff time, oh, you suck, whatever. It is bigger. Now is the problem. Now we need to cut that thing out and send it on down the road. Guys, the New England Patriots have had a pretty good offseason. They brought in their new head coach, Mike Vrabel. They have a second-year quarterback in Drake May. They have a pretty decent running back room with Stevens, Gibson, and Jennings, right? They signed Milton Williams, the defensive tackle. They signed defensive ends. They signed defensive tackles. They've signed an offensive tackle. They signed Carlton Davis. They signed outside linebacker Robert Spillane. Right, Harold Landy, the edge rusher. They brought in Josh Dobbs. They brought in Buffalo Bills wide receiver Matt Collins from last season. Brought in Marcus Epps. They added a lot of players. And honestly, on paper, strictly paper, I don't even have a piece of paper because that's how useless paper is. But on paper, this wide receiver core for the New England Patriots looks pretty good. Stefon Diggs, Polk, Hollis, right? Who else do I have here? Like we have Bourne, we have Booty, right? We have Douglas. That wide receiver room looks pretty decent. Looks above average. Could be a top 10 wide receiving core room in the NFL on paper. However, Stefon Diggs is not 100%. However, Stefon Diggs may never be 100% again. He has proven to be a cancer. We just said it. He has been proven. Vikings, Buffalo Bills. We don't know if he was a cancer with the Houston Texans, but there's a reason why they took that 3-year deal, made it into a 1-year deal, and he's not with the team anymore. Now, when you look at those teams, the Vikings, the Buffalo Bills, even the Houston Texans, did they really have a coach with a backbone to stand up to Stefon Diggs? Now, you could say that the Houston Texans coach, what is his name right now, slipping my mind. You can say that he probably had a backbone, and that's why he kicked him to the curb. Mike Vrabel might be the coach that Stefon Diggs needs to cure that cancer. Mike Vrabel might be the backbone and the 10 grit sandpaper coach that Stefon Diggs needs to really elevate his play. But as of right now, 3 years, $69 million for a receiver that is a proven cancer, for a receiver that's not a 100% healthy, and for a team that, quite frankly, yes, you did make all of these moves. You're still in the AFC East. You are still probably fourth best at that team. Let's just be honest. This deal makes no sense. This deal to me is the flashy something that the Patriots fans wanted, but it is dumb, it is asinine, it is ass 10. Stefon Diggs in 3 years is making more than Tom Brady did. I'm just going to put that out there. But what do you guys think? Stefon Diggs to the New England Patriots. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you kind of like, yeah, whatever? Try to be unbiased, Alpha Rob. I know you're a Buffalo Bills fan, and you know you want him there. You want to beat his ass, and the Patriots are just going to suck. But hey, be a little bit unbiased. Jim Powell says, Stefon Diggs is a bigger cancer than Cat Williams is to Hollywood. And that is tough, right? Because Cat Williams makes me laugh. Cat Williams makes me think things in a new perspective. Cat Williams is a guy that just speaks his mind and doesn't care what the consequences is. And that's probably what Stefon Diggs is. He speaks his mind and thinks about it later. He is a young Michael Buckheister. 25, 23, 22-year-old Michael Buckheister said what he want, didn't care of the consequences. I didn't care if I got suspended. I didn't care if I made your mama cry. I didn't care if I got kicked off the football team. I spoke it, and it is what it is. Now, growing up a little bit, you want to shut your mouth. You want to gather your thoughts. You want to listen. You want to soak in all the information, right? You want to see what is pending across the NFL and see what those thoughts are. Maybe this season made Stefon Diggs open his eyes. Maybe this season helped Stefon Diggs, like, hey, maybe, just maybe, that I'm not so great. Alpha Rob says, at this point, Diggs isn't a $60 million wide receiver, and he's not going to be ready till mid-season. Alpha Rob, the Patriots expect him to be ready by week 1. I did see a video of him working out, which he seemed to be probably 80%, right? We still have April, May, June, July, August, September. We still have 7 months until the NFL season, right? Still have a lot of rehab, still have a long ways to go. But since it did happen so early, he should be ready to go by week 1. However, we've seen players push it. Aaron Rodgers, we've seen players push it. Kirk Cousins, granted, those were Achilles, and they're 40-plus years old, but clearly they're not ready. I think Stefon Diggs is smart. He will get out there when he is ready. But yes, he is not a $69 million quarter or receiver right now. No. He has not proven a lot to me. Alpha Rob says, I guess the Pats wants his 20 yards in big games. That is Alpha Rob still being shady. That is Alpha Rob still being upset that Stefon Diggs hurt his fantasy team, his playoff team a couple years ago. 13 seconds, baby. 13 seconds. That's all I got to say about that right there. Mr. Jim Powell says, I changed my mind. He's more of a case of jock itch. Sometimes you don't feel cancer. Jock itch is always freaking irritating. Jim, I've never had jock itch. I've never had itchy balls. I've never had any type of rash, right? Now, with that being said, I better knock on some wood, and I'm probably going to go inside, and there will be some massive, poison ivy on the back of my legs or something, or poison oak, right? Because I was out in the yard working all day. But I have to disagree. Because when Stefon Diggs is winning, when Stefon Diggs is getting his catches and getting his yardage, he is one happy camper. But the minute you get 20 yards, in a big playoff game, the minute you lose a big playoff game, the minute you lose 2, 3, 4 games in a row, then he starts to expose. He's like, oh, hello there. Stefon Diggs is like a pimple on pitcher day. You have clear skin all week long. Come Friday, bada bing, bada boom, he's there and he's irritating and you won't go away. And Alpha Rob says Diggs' mouth is bigger than his game. At least it was in Buffalo. Houston, granted, he was injured in like Houston, and Houston really wasn't doing great when he was there anyways. But yes, he definitely does have a big mouth and speaks his mind. Old man River.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Says Vrabel will mess him up. He was a linebacker. Old man River. Mike Vrabel was a very abrasive coach, right? He is like that sponge that has the green and yellow side, right? It has the abrasive side and a nice soft side. A great coach knows when to use the abrasive side and when to use the soft side. A great coach knows what players that he can push and what players that sometimes just need a hug. I think that's what makes me such a great high school coach is I understand those kids, right? I understand the kids that I can push. I understand the kids that sometimes just need a little pat on the butt. Say, hey man, you are doing all right. You're doing good. Now let's do this, and this. I don't know if Mike Vrabel needs to mess up Stefon Diggs. I don't think Stefon Diggs needs that tough love. I think Stefon Diggs is the type of player that needs that pat on the back. Hey man, you're doing okay. Even though he only had 20 yards versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Even though he had 15 drops in the last 3 seasons. Even though he has not broken 1,000 yards in 3 seasons, right? He just needs that pat. You just need that pat on the back and the encouragement and the lift up, saying, "Hey, you can do it. You can do it, man." I don't know. We'll see. Real McCoy says, next, you're going to tell me that Dak's part owner of the Browns. Maybe Dak can play for Brady and the Raiders. Real McCoy, facts or facts that Dak Prescott is a top 5 quarterback. Stop it. Old Man River says, we want Dak in Vegas. I understand it says don't, but he secretly wants Dak. Alpha Rob says, don't forget that Stefon Diggs dropped balls in big games. He does. He develops these stone hands. And like, hey, I'm open. Oh, shit.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Alpha Rob, do you remember 13 seconds? Should I give you guys 13 seconds of a silence to remember the great Kansas City Chiefs going down the field for 13 seconds to Travis Kelce to win the football game? Should we do that? I'm just playing, baby. I'm just playing. Next up.